Okie dokie. Hey everyone, how are you doing? Hope you're doing very, very well. Instagram is here, YouTube is here. I guess the podcast is also here at the moment because I will turn this into a podcast episode. I want to do something different today. I want to talk about a bunch of my weaknesses. It's so fascinating. I have this pet peeve, right? And my pet peeve is what happens is that I often, when I'm on Instagram or Facebook or a lot of these different social media platforms, or people who are posting what their lives, posting different things, and it's just frustrating for me sometimes to watch that, to see people that literally craft everything. Everything is crafted. Their whole lives are crafted. Every picture, lighting is thought about. The composition, is everything? Do my eyes look good? Is my hair, and like things like that. Every video, high production value, high production, like everything. Can I speak perfectly? Can it be done perfect? And it's something, I don't know why it bothers me. Like, it's something about it. And I'm always scared that I'm going to fall into that trap. I'm always afraid of that. I'm like, man, I don't want to get into that, especially now because I'm using more, like, I am more mindful of the fonts I use on my pictures, on the quality. I'm more mindful of it. But still, like, I want it to be, I just want to, I'm making more of an effort right now to show stuff and talk about stuff that's super, super not edited, that's not, maybe where you see my flaws, things like that. And so I thought today, what the hell? Why don't we literally make a video called Showing My Weaknesses, and just literally talking about stuff I suck at. Some will be language-related stuff, some will be not language stuff. And it's going to be, I'm just going to kind of be open with you guys and talk about stuff that I'm not very good at. So to kick things off, here's number one. Hi, Sapphire, by the way. Just saw it in the live chat. Anyway, thing number one, I really suck at. I'm stubborn. I'm incredibly stubborn. And the ironic thing is I ask for advice and I know that I won't take it. It's really weird. For example, I met with a friend the other day. I was like, hey, I want some feedback on some visual stuff when it comes to videos. Like, what can I do to make my videos more visually appealing? What can we do on my Instagram to clean things up? A lot of that kind of visual things. I listened to all the advice and I fought with my friend on all the advice. Literally, I fought with him. I was like, no. And what's funny is I'm stubborn up front. And then later, like months later, weeks later, depends on the time frame, then maybe I listen to you. Probably not a very good weakness. My natural tendency, closed, just super closed. I wear the same clothes always. I never change my, like, I've had this, like this, literally this podcast, people, you can't see it, but Instagram, YouTube, you can literally see this little sweater I'm wearing right now. This sweater, I've had it since high school, still wear it, still do. I don't care, right? Like prior to roughly a couple of months ago, I had not gone shopping for 2 years. Hadn't done it, didn't want to, just didn't care. I used to wear jeans that were too short because I was like, oh, screw it, who cares? Never cared about my appearance. I used to, just don't care. And to a point where it's not good. If you look at some of my old videos, you'll see like nose hair sticking out of my nose. It's disgusting. It's literally disgusting. And to be honest, if it wasn't for social norms of like looking presentable, I wouldn't care. I just wouldn't care. When I was a kid, when I was really, really little, I decided that, I actually should not use shampoo and stuff. Like, it's just really gross. Super gross. I was like, I don't care. But that's something there. I'm also very bad at, I'm very direct, very, probably too blunt, extremely blunt. I've gotten better at it. I try to be mindful, and like, I'm very good at, like, and I've gotten better, and I'm quite good at like reading people and understanding where they come from, things like that. But often I lack empathy. Often people go, oh, they're talking about their problems, they're talking about things like that. And I just go, well, why are you complaining? Like, I'm just too blunt sometimes, and it's not always a good thing. Also, I don't plan in advance. I don't plan very well. So like, Sapphire, I read your comment there, a bit too much information there about the shampoo, Azren. I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot that just comes out. So we'll see where this goes. But I plan really well, but I also don't plan very well. What I mean by that is, sometimes I miss the small details. I specifically remember I used to work with someone I used to work with, and like there's these forms I had to fill out, and like it was an Excel sheet, and like literally they were so frustrated with me because the question, they literally asked me the question, Azren, you need to look at, like, it was like, they're like, Azren, how do you keep messing up this form? You literally need to go one square at a time and fill it out. Like, it's just literal stupidity. It's me being stupid. Like literally, I'm not a stupid person, but as me in elements like that, I'm often quite stupid. It's kind of true, right? What else is there? There's a lot, guys. I mean, I when it comes, let's talk about some language learning things. When it comes to language learning, I'm extremely picky, and nobody's good enough for me. If I have a teacher, I complain about every single teacher. I don't complain about them, but I think there's elements that are not good, and I bash on them. And I don't even, that's not even the right word. I don't bash on them, but I just often I'll think, wow, that teacher is not good. Or like, oh wow, they should be doing this. Like I'm very hard. I can often be hard on other people. And when it's not necessarily, like I've like literally, yeah, let's just leave it there. I'm often hard on different people. What else do I do that's not good? I am incredibly inflexible. I like physically inflexible, not like mentally, but physically inflexible. Like I can barely touch my toes. When it comes to fitness, you can literally track my progress through my YouTube channel of me going through kicks of trying to be fit and everything and not doing it properly. I've gotten better, like consistently I get better, like a little bit better, but I'm not nearly doing everything that I should be. When it comes to, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. When it comes to teaching languages. Oh, by the way, Luis, I see your comment there. I missed that. How can we take a lesson with you? Just send me a message on any social network. We can figure it out. Any message, social media links and social media links in my YouTube description. You'll find me. What else was it? Was I saying about teaching? Oh yeah, I have like a weird innate fear of being like judged by native speakers. Like I don't want them to think that I'm not good at a language. Weird innate fear about that. Like I don't know, I'm scared about that. It doesn't make any sense, and I'm scared that native speakers will think I'm not good. So if I'm with a native speaker, I have a tendency of changing how I speak on purpose, because I will choose to speak in a way where it's harder for them to judge how I speak often. Sometimes if I have the option, I'll keep the conversations short, so they think, wow, Azren's so amazing, and I'll keep conversations to topics where I think I'm really good. You know, that's happened before. It's not good. And the weird part is that I'm really good at languages, and yet I still, I'm too hard on myself when it comes to that. The seed of my language learning, of why I want to learn languages, why I want to be really good, is not necessarily a positive seed. The reason I want to be so fluent, I remember when I was 15 years old, I went to France. I thought I didn't have a lot of friends, and I felt uncomfortable at times because I wasn't good at French. And the reality is more my personality, is more the fact that I was socially awkward and just kind of weird and whatnot. I'm sure there's some language elements in there too, but whatever, right? So now I've carried that seed with me. What was I gonna say? There's a lot. Oh yeah, I'm incredibly perfectionist when it comes to language learning, to a point where it's unhealthy. I probably judge people too much by their accent, and what I mean by that is not necessarily if you're a student, but I probably have my brain will naturally, unless I catch myself, will have opinions on how somebody speaks the language based on how they sound in that language. Do they sound very natural and native for some reason? I don't know why, but I do. And then I'd be very mindful to check myself and be like, whoa, what are you doing, Azren? Recently, I'm getting better at, like, I don't know why. Like, I think here's a big one. I love accent and pronunciation so much that I let that be a filter. I let that be a filter when I observe others. By the way, to answer that live question, yes, I am a native speaker of English, but I speak 4 other languages where I'm not native. I guess Gujarati technically is native, but still. And so that pronunciation becomes a filter by which I view everything, which is not a good thing to do. And here's another one too. When I see here's one. I don't know if this is a positive or negative, but it could be viewed either way. I'm incredibly competitive when it comes to languages. Here's a big one. This is a fun one. So far I've been talking without thinking, and now this one I like paused for a second. You know what? What the hell? Why not? I'll share it. Sometimes I brought people on as guests on my channel because I want to get to know them, to see if they're my competition. And then I'd make a judgment call if I think I have to be worried about them. So it's kind of like, it's such a bad way to view it, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's like, keep your friends closer and your enemies closer, even closer. They're not my enemies. I get it. We're not enemies. But it's still like, there's a part in that goes, I want to be the language nerd, hence Azren, language nerd, right? I want to be the language guy, right? I want to build that entire thing. So, oh, what the heck? My live video paused on Instagram. I want to be the language nerd, and so that's like a big, it's a big thing for me. We're gonna switch things up here just for fun. I got a live video request on Instagram, so let's bring her in. Let's see it. View. Let's go live with this person. Someone wants to come in. Oh, are they in? They made a request. They made a request. Well, if they're gonna, oh, here they are. Here we go. Hello. I can't hear you. Okay, you're gone. I can't wait. Try talking. One more chance. I'll give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Out. Sorry. Now I get your stuff fixed, and then I'll let you in. Anyway, for some reason didn't work. So anyway, as I was saying, yeah, I want to be the language nerd. So I'm competitive. I'm competitive when it comes to learning languages. I'm competitive with a lot of my online content. But here's the thing. There's a big thing. I want to make sure this is clear. I don't want to win. Like, win's not even the right word. I don't want to be the biggest language person at the expense of someone else. I want everyone can win, of course. And I understand that the people who deserve to win will win. People who deserve to have audiences will have audience. People who deserve to do all that will get there. Nothing I can do will stop them, and I'm not going to try and stop them. It's such a freaking waste of time. It's like, why would anyone do something stupid like that, right? But I'm still competitive. I'm going to try and build the biggest building. You're going to try too, and I'm going to try as well. And what's funny is I know most people in language communities don't have that competitive nature and don't view that in a positive light. Because that's a very weird thing is I'm not like a very alpha type. That's not my personality per se. I'm not that kind of alpha type in most aspects of life. But when it comes to stuff I'm really good at, I get competitive. Here's another big one when it comes to weaknesses. Oh crap, I just had it. Oh, it just crossed my mind. I lost it. I was talking about languages, being competitive, being bigger, being, I lost it. I lost it, and it was a big one. It was so good. I remember having the thought, oh, well, it is what it is. Let's keep going to some more weaknesses. Oh boy, there's a lot we can go into here. What was it? I want to have the one that was in my head. Oh man. Oh well, it'll come to me. I doubt myself more than it looks like on camera. When you guys see me, I have a show of confidence, and I have way more confidence than most people, self-confidence. And yet I doubt myself way more than you would think. I make it seem like I know what I'm doing, but I don't actually know what I'm doing more often than not. I just kind of do stuff and see what happens, and I do it with confidence because I want to put on a show. My videos are not scripted, but when I make things, they seem less scripted than they are. And what I mean by that is sometimes they take multiple takes to actually make, and they seem like they don't because they do them in one take. They are definitely not. They're definitely not scripted. Like, this is not scripted at all. This is zero prep. This is me just talking. But sometimes there is some prep that goes in. It doesn't always seem that way, especially because I think I've said in camera, I just turn the camera on and talk, which is true to an extent. And sometimes it's not fully true. Sometimes I talk, I mess it up, so I stop it. And it's like, why wouldn't I just keep it running? I think when it comes to, there's certain elements that, what was I going to say? Man, I had two good things come to mind. I forgot what they were. Anyway, this isn't necessarily weakness, but here's a fun one. Not necessarily weakness. However, I don't know if I ever will get married. I don't know if that's going to be a thing I do. Don't know if I want kids. Don't know if that's ever in the cards. I would not be surprised if I never get married in my whole life. And then people go, wow, what the heck? That's super weird to say, because that's especially when all your friends are getting married and stuff, and I have zero interest in it as of right now. Maybe it's just a thing I'm in because I'm so focused on my own world. But here's a big thing. Maybe not a weakness, but a confession. I've not actually had a girlfriend for the past 7 years. I've not really dated or anything in 7 years, which is pretty crazy. It's a lot for someone, and I feel zero insecurity about it. That's something I'm whatever, people will think what they think. What other weaknesses I have? When it comes, let's talk about some language weaknesses. I'm incredibly, impatient's not the right word, but I don't have the discipline to sit down and study at times. I just kind of don't do it. I should be studying and doing, sitting and just getting stuff done. 7 minutes of studying later, I kind of stop. And my natural talent, oh, here's one that came to mind actually. My natural talent with languages kind of carries me through and allows me to learn. I think I honestly believe stuff about languages that a lot of people don't believe and that people fight me on. I'm the only one that believes it, but I know it's true, and you guys, the time will only tell. For example, I honestly believe that I have extreme talent with languages, and people get really scared when they talk about talent because everyone lives in this whole world where everyone can do anything. Oh my God, don't say you can be talented. Some are better than others. Unfortunately, yes, I am better than most people when it comes to languages. I have more natural talent with it. I just see it. I just understand it. I just hear it. It just comes to me. It's natural. It's just in my bones, in my blood. That's how it works, guys. That's just how it is. And you guys have to freaking live with it. Stop fighting me on it. I often get impatient with questions that people send me. I want all of your questions, and yet sometimes I get very, not impatient, but I think that's a dumb question. And that's not even true, actually. I don't think it's a dumb question. Actually, no, let's rephrase it. That's actually not true. That's not true at all. That's 100% not true. What is true, however, here's what is the truth. The honest to God truth is the following. The honest to God truth is I have no tolerance. I have very little tolerance for someone who's asking a question, but they're asking a question with a complaining tone, meaning they're asking a question and there's no plan to actually do anything once I give an answer. Or they give an answer and they go, yes, but da 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 da. And they have 1,001 excuses to what's going on, but they don't actually do anything about it. I have no patience for that. I will stop answering your messages. I've done it before. I give you one word answer. I stop. I'm not going to give you my attention. I will give my attention to people who actually are going to do something about the stuff that, they're going to do stuff. Right. So that bothers me. So that's something that really frustrates me. And that's not positive, because I definitely, should be more kind in those scenarios. Going back to something I said earlier, what was I going to say? Right. The lack of empathy. Sometimes there's more empathy that can be shown in those scenarios. I will answer people. I sometimes, that's not really a weakness, actually. It's not really true anyway. Let's keep going with this. Andy says, let's just comment here. How's Instagram doing? Okay. Andy says, hi, Azren. I'm natural with computers, so it's possible to be natural with languages, but interest is even more important than talent. Sure, absolutely. But for sure. Yeah, interest is more important than talent. Yeah, absolutely. Also, when it comes to, let's give some more language stuff. When it comes to languages, I'm incredibly hard on myself. I'm incredibly, incredibly difficult on myself, and I push myself. And when you hear a lot of the self-talk that's happening in my brain, it's not positive when I'm learning languages. You guys should have seen the Snapchat story I showed 2 days ago. Man, I was mad. I was so mad at myself. It was ridiculous. I was talking with some guy on Skype in Gujarati, typing, and I understood every word he was typing, and I could not understand his sentence. I wanted to punch walls, put my head through plates, and jump off things, and jump on cars, and just scream and just tear my hair out. I was so mad at myself, and I was really negative self-talk was happening in that specific moment. And this extreme, it's not even that negative, because I still love myself. It's crazy. It's just interesting, right? Earlier I said I have a lot of self-confidence, right? Or excuse me, earlier I said I doubt myself more than it seems. And yet there's also the other side of the coin. There's also the other side of the coin where I actually have more self-confidence than it actually seems. Hello, Instagram. I have more self-confidence than I seem, but I'm scared to show it because it probably comes across as brash. I literally, I am someone who, when it comes to my personality, how do I phrase this? How do I say this? When I am too easygoing, in the sense that sometimes people do things and I should absolutely have a reaction, opinion on. I literally do not care, and that's not a good thing at times. And what's really fascinating about this is Instagram. No one cares about this video, but YouTube, people care. This is really fascinating dynamics that are going on. But anyway, what else, man? I just keep, literally, it's crazy how many I can share. Let's go deeper. What are some deeper things I can share? I have some weird irrational fears that don't make any sense. I've talked about this once before. I have a weird fear of shower curtains. I think there's sharks in every body of water. I do not go in bathtubs. I don't like bathtubs. Swimming pools, I'm convinced there's sharks in them, and alligators. And I know there's not, but I still think there's sharks and alligators. Oceans, I'm scared of jellyfish stinging me, and it's so I don't go in oceans. I don't like the beaches. Any kind of new scenarios, I usually am very reserved, and I don't like to jump into them. Think about, here's another one. Most people I'm very good at, how do I phrase this? I don't know how to phrase that. How do I talk about that? I don't know how to talk about that. That's weird. Yeah, that's very difficult to explain. Let's just keep that away from now. Sapphire says, Azren, or Andy, Azren's in the confessional box today. No, it's not the confessional box. It's literally, this is a reaction to me, like literally for the past, I don't know how long, like just seeing content on online, and it's like everyone's being like, oh, look at my beautiful life. And it's like, life is pretty freaking boring at times, usually, and it's not really that exciting. And yet everyone makes it seem like it's exciting. And it's like, nothing, I love life. I'm extremely happy. And, you know, I'm extremely happy. Here's a big one, actually. Sorry. Pause that thought. Here's another weakness. I talk, my actions for how much I give do not match my belief in the importance of giving. I give a portion of my income away to charities and causes, and every single, you know, a portion of my income just immediately goes away. But the amount of like, the amount I think about stuff like, oh my God, there's disgusting stuff happening in a lot of parts of the world that I could be making a difference if I just made different changes, and I don't do it. There's a bunch of aspects like that. There's a whole bunch of different aspects like that where there's things I know I could be doing that benefit others, and I don't. Like, I know if I lost my leg, if someone cut my leg off, I lost my leg in an accident, or like something really bad happened to me, like I needed blood or like some weird stuff, like I would absolutely look at everyone like, oh my God, you're doing nothing. And yet I'm very aware that I'm one of those people that's not doing enough. It really, that's one thing that eats in my brain, and yet I do absolutely nothing about it. It's very, very frustrating. That's a big one for me, actually. I know it, and I don't do enough about it, which is interesting. Yeah, I do some, but nowhere near enough. And I don't know how to, this is the weakness. I don't know how to find the balance of like working to build, like, it's kind of like, by the way, Russian person, I can't read your name. I can't answer you. Don't you confuse all languages you've learned? Yup, you bet. I confuse my languages all the time. So anyway, it's just trying to balance like my own, it's trying to balance my own selfishness in the sense of me being selfish with how much money I have, how much I'm earning, how much I'm saving, how much I'm building my audience, building leverage. Oh, that's something we'll get into. Leverage, that's a big one we can get into in a sec, actually. Building leverage, having audience, like giving and all that, and balancing that stuff, which is actually very selfish, and understanding that in my selfishness, I'm giving because, you know, the amount of people, like in 7 minutes, I have to hop off this thing. I'm talking to actually someone who I might be watching this live stream, actually, at least on Instagram. He was earlier. I saw him hop in, but he's not there anymore. Talking, just going to help him practice, not charging for it. And like, there's a lot of my selfishness that helps me, but it's also giving at the same time. So I was trying to balance my giving where there's literally nothing I could get back from it. It's a pure give, versus giving that's helping me grow and build leverage and everything. And that ends up helping you at the same time, right? So anyway, the other thing, leverage, we got to leverage, that's an interesting point. One thing that nobody knows and I don't actually talk about, and it's going to be viewed in one of two ways. The reason I give, like literally, if you look at my actions when it comes to my online content, my teaching, the amount I do, like it's you think, wow, Azren does so much. I post more about language learning and more quality stuff about language learning than every single other person in the world. Isn't that crazy? Unless find me someone who does more than me. Find them, show them to me. And that's going to just drive me to do even more. So I think I'm the person out of the 7 billion people in the world, I do the most, okay? In terms of mounted content, in terms of mounted content and quality of content when it comes to language learning, more than everybody. I'm the one who's I'm the one on most number of social networks and active on the highest number of social networks out of everyone, okay? When it comes to language learning. And it's all free. There's very little you could actually buy from me. You could, yes, hire me for lessons, but I never talk about it. Never. I like never offer lessons. Never do I pitch you anything. Never do I ask for anything. I never ask for money. I never sell courses. Nothing. Zero, double zero. And people go, why do you do it? Well, it's for leverage. It's for leverage. When I keep giving to you, and I take your calls, and I answer your questions, and then 6 years from now, I want something, I'm going to ask you all. I'm going to ask. Absolutely. I'm going to ask. It's going to be a small ask. It won't be a big ask. But for example, if I write a book and I built leverage for 6 years and we have 50,000 people that I've freaking given to, done live streams for, talked to, and everything, right? And I've given. I'm going to ask you one by one, every single one of you, hey, I've written a book. I want it to be on the New York Times bestseller list. Can you buy 10? Can you buy 1? I'm going to ask all of you. And by the way, here's one. By the way, if you don't buy anything, I don't care. That's the best part. I don't actually care if you give something back, but I'm going to guilt you guys to actually, if it's kind of like building leverage in the how do I explain it? I'm building leverage to the point where if I ever ask for something, I know I'll get a whole bunch from it. But that's why I work 2 full-time jobs. My online stuff, I never expect anything back from anyone. And my day-to-day stuff is where I actually try and make my money. It's 2 worlds. And it's funny because I never talk about the point that I'm doing all this stuff. All my content is extremely selfish. It doesn't look like it, but the seed is selfishness. It's not, the seed of everything I do is not giving, unfortunately. And it's just my truth. That is my truth. Here's a big one. I have 3 minutes to go here before I have to go and talk to whoever I'm talking to. What was I gonna say? The seed of selfishness. Oh yeah, I procrastinate on big projects that do not need to be procrastinated on. Like the stuff that like I just need to get done and I don't do it. Keep pushing. Like there's like literally I can name 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually 3. 3 projects, not 4, because one's recent. 3 projects that should be done by now and they're not done. One of them especially, and it's like, ugh. Like important things that I should be delivering on, I don't, like I'm just not delivering on it. Sucks, but it's my truth, guys. It's my truth. 2 more minutes to go. 3 minutes to go here. Yep. Yeah, and here's the thing. Here, I like Andy's comment. Andy, Ollie Richards and Benny Lewis also followed a leverage approach. They built a large following and network by giving out lots of free advice and sold their products later. Yeah, it's not a, here's my truth. That's not a pathway I choose. It's not a path. I don't think I'm going to follow in their footsteps. I don't know their story in depth. I haven't followed them in depth. My outside perspective on what I see, and I don't know how true it is. There's more selling happening than giving. I don't know what the balance is. Nothing wrong with it, by the way. That's just not what I plan on doing. Because yeah, it's not what I plan on doing. I want to live these 2. The most I'm ever, here's something I'm going to sell pretty soon. I'm not really going to sell it. It's going to be, yeah, it's just going to be there. I'm going to be making a t-shirt. Actually, I already have the design, but I don't care if you buy it. I'm not even gonna, I'll literally just wear it, and that's going to be it. And then like, it's going to take people to ask me for it. Like, anyway, I don't know why. Oh, here's another thing. I have a weird, okay, I'm extremely good with money. I'm very good at it. I have been since the age of 12 because of good parenting. My mom has been extremely good with it, and I'm very good. I have a weird, here, we can end on this one. How do I say this? I heavily, it's not the right word. I have some negative feelings towards people who, how do I say it? I have some negative feelings towards people whose, okay, I don't know how to, I'm gonna describe this. I got a message my person saying me late. Hey Ruben, are you in the live stream? Ruben, if you're there, I'm running late, dude. I gotta explain this. Hang on, let's message him on Skype here. Hey man, running just a bit late. I want to finish my live stream with a couple of different points. Okay, anyway, so here's one. Extreme consumerism, something about it bothers me, man. So when most people see the people with the fancy watch, the fancy dress, the nice clothes, the flashy, spending money, the going to Vegas, Las Vegas, all that stuff, I just shake my head and I go, it's something about it. I don't know what it is, man. I just don't know. I don't enjoy going to Vegas, man. I've been to Vegas once. Couldn't do it. Like it's something, just like when I see that, you know, that fountain in Vegas, you know, that fountain, I see that and I go, what the hell? Like, how much, like literally, like it seems like I don't know, it seems like a waste. It seems like a waste, like that extreme consumerism. I see people that spend like, I don't know, man. There's something about like that extreme consumerism bothers me to no end. And I'm a hypocrite about it because there's things around consumerism that I do that you could judge as well. So it's a hypocritical thing to do. Like, for example, let me go more into this because it's something I've never talked about. I want to unpack this. Let's look at this, for example. When people buy $6,000 backpacks or purses or shoes, $500 this, and it's extreme spending on what I consider extreme, a lot over like extreme consumerism. Okay, my brain literally goes, "Hey, Nikita, how's it going? Nikita, hey, by the way, we got to change our Thursday time. If this is the same Nikita that I think this is the same one. You've changed your name. You wrote it in Russian before. It's not in Russian anymore. I recognize. We got to change our time. We're talking this week. We got to change that. If this is the Nikita I'm talking to later, can we move it a day earlier? Same time, not Thursday anymore. Can you move it to Wednesday? Please type in the chat. Let me know. Anyway, when I see that consumers, my brain goes to like African kids and like people in slums and stuff, and I go, oh my goodness, the amount of difference we can make. But I'm a hypocrite because then I go spend thousands of dollars on a flight to some place, right? And I know I spend less when I travel than everybody, like almost everybody, and I get it. But I'm also a hypocrite because I'm not giving enough to. I'm not giving in like as much as I should and everything. But yeah, Nikita, awesome. So Nikita, we're on for not Thursday then. Let's be on for Wednesday. I made a mistake. I gave you the wrong. Oops, it's turned on. Yeah, Nikita, I gave you the wrong time. I want to go Wednesday instead. So let me move that right now on my calendar. There we go. It's moved. Awesome. So talk to you, Nikita. I'll talk to you in 2 days. Man, I could do this forever, man. But yeah, all in all, I'm just really mad at just. I'm just really mad at all the flashy nonsense that's happening. And here's a fear I have. I don't know if it's a weakness, it's a fear. Here's a fear that I have. I'm afraid of me going down the rabbit hole of like becoming too flashy and too fancy and too like all that nonsense. Like, and yeah, I don't know. Here's another one. Inside deep, I feel like I can be, I feel like, how do I say this? I feel like I can have an extremely big audience and have extremely big impact and be, do really big things. I've always even when I was a kid, this is going to go in a weird direction. So I've always, even when I was a kid, I always felt like I'm going to do something. I just knew somewhere that whatever I do in life, it's going to be very important and it's going to be recognized. And there's something I always knew as a kid too. And when I was a kid, I used to think it was weird stuff. Like I was like, oh yeah, I'm like a special God child. Like I used to think weird things. I don't even know where they came from. That's what I used to think. And I think it's odd. And now I don't believe in I'm a special God child. None of that stuff. No, I don't. But I have a weird feeling that stuff I do is going to be big. But here's where the weakness part comes in. I'm afraid of me having that feeling inside and then actually not hitting stuff that I thought I'd hit, not hitting goals I thought I'd hit. And so there's that weird conflict inside of me that which leads to weird action steps and weird action steps. And not to mention, I never talk about how big I think I can be because it's just, I don't know. I'm scared of judgment of it. And yet when you look at my content, I talk about how I don't care what people think. And in the macro, I don't care what people think about me. I care more about my own opinion. But here's another thing, going back to consumerism and spending lots of money. How do I say this? I for some reason have, and this is the weird part because I'm really good with money and I'm like I have more than like I've always been good. I've always had what I needed and always earned what I wanted. And like I've always never had any issues, right? But yet when I see people who flaunt wealth, part of my brain judges it. Part of it does. And when I say, hey Nikita, by the way, your comment, you changed your name after a conversation when you told me I don't know how to read Cyrillic. I memorized your name because it bothered me that I memorized how to read your name. It pissed me off that I was like, screw this, I need to learn. Anyway, when I see people who flaunt their wealth, part of my brain judges it. And sometimes I know, like if someone has $100 million, we're going extremes, okay? And they buy a big house, right? Like with lots of nice stuff. That is not even the tiniest of dent in their wealth, and they could still, be doing really good things with it. But I look at the house And I go, yeah, and part of my brain judges it. And I know what, in the moment it happens, I catch myself and I go, it's stupid. I know it. And yet the emotion still kicks off. And the weird part is that I don't know, but I would not be shocked if I have a decent amount of, and this is where we're going weird territory. Here's a weakness. I feel very uncomfortable saying this, but I'm going to say it because it's my truth. I feel like I will probably end up with a lot of money, but not the same way as a lot of people do. A lot of people make a lot of money. I don't think I'll earn a lot. I just don't spend a lot. I don't, like, I've told you, I've had this jacket since high school. I still wear it. Like, even the shirt, I've had this. Oh, here's a weird one. Nobody even know this. I bought new glasses. I bet you didn't even know. I buy the same things over and over and over and over and over. I literally look for the same clothes. When I buy new clothes, I find this. Here's a weird one. When I got new clothes this year, get this, I'm a 25-year-old guy. I'm 25, okay? I live at home, by the way, I'm the only one of my friends that lives at home. I'm 25, I live at home still. In a Canadian world, that's weird. Indian world, that's not weird. Canadian weird, that's weird. And here's the weirdest part. I'm going to be still at home in 5 years. I haven't been home until I'm 30 probably. Like, I'm going to be old being at home. I'm 30 is not even old, but I'll be home for a long time because I'm not getting a massive mortgage. I'm going to save. But anyway, crap, I lost what I was trying to thought. Oh man, what was I saying? Help me, guys. What was I saying? I was talking about money. Oh yeah, the weird thing is I judge part of my brain judges that wealth, and yet I feel like I might have that wealth later on by saving and not spending and just doing that. I'm not gonna be like a billionaire. It's not gonna happen. That's just not in my cards. That's never gonna happen. But I think I'll have money, and yeah, I totally forget where I was going with this. I had something I was gonna talk about. I self-sabotage myself. Especially, I self-sabotage it because I don't want to be judged and viewed as, oh my God, you've sold out, or oh my God, you're turning into one of those people that just are all glitz and glamour. So I self-sabotage unconsciously and sometimes semi-consciously. So yeah, there's something about that. And yet there's the other part of me that now my following's gotten a lot bigger. We've gone literally 2 weeks ago, 700. We're now at 2,000, just about 2,000. That's a lot in about 2-3 weeks. That's a lot, right? It's gone up. This is YouTube specifically, right? But it's gone up. Man, Instagram, you guys suck. You're not watching this. Anyway, they'll watch the recording. I know people will. But anyway, I already feel going, oh yeah, there's a lot of people watching. Maybe I should do my hair. So like I fight it to go, no, I have nose hairs today sticking out of my nose. I'm not cutting them off. They're staying in the video. I do weird stuff like that because I'm fighting to it's just fight to be yourself. It's like, how do you, I struggle with being myself in the sense, because I want to be myself. And then you question, what does it mean to be myself? Right? What is that? Is it myself to look, does it mean, here's the question, when I go to business meeting, am I not being myself by wearing a suit and tie? Because I don't like dressing up, by the way. I don't like dressing up. I don't like suits and ties and all that nonsense and fancy clothes. And you know why? They're not comfortable, which is number one. But here's the other reason. I suck with fine motor skills. I can't do my own buttons properly. It sucks. It takes me a long time to do buttons, and I hate it. But here's the bigger reason. When I'm scared of spilling food on my clothes, because I spill food on my clothes sometimes. I spill on my jeans. Oh no! But you spill on jeans, you can clean it and still wear the jeans tomorrow. And I know you heard that, and a bunch of you are like, oh my God, that's disgusting. And it is disgusting. I have no defense. I have none at all. None, zero. No defense against it. It's gross. But you spill on your tie and it's done. It's just gross. If I have if we're gonna go in gross direction again, if I have chip seasoning on my fingers, I might lick my fingers and wipe them on my jeans and then wash my hands and half an hour later if I'm lazy and don't want to get up. That's gross, guys. That's just like a slob. Like a slob. Seriously? That's a big weakness. I'm literally have slob tendencies. I have slob-like tendencies. Literally, it's disgusting. I have an irrational fear of needles. I fear death in my family more than I should. I think a lot about mom or sister dying. I think stuff like that. I started off in a healthy place, then it started off and it went more unhealthy. And I'm always fighting that line to keep it in a healthy place of understanding that tomorrow, weird stuff could happen where, someone bombs my city and now all of a sudden like peaceful, like things are good, man. I have a good life and like that could change tomorrow. And yet it started in a healthy place of being so aware of it and everything. And now it's slightly unhealthy because like I'm almost too aware of it. And I think about it. It's like thinking like, oh my God, an asteroid's gonna hit me. It's this 1% likelihood and like being like too afraid of it. So like I always fight mentally with that. I do a pretty good job, I think, with it, but it's not as good as I should be. I yeah, I don't know. I could probably sit here for like hours. I could literally, oh, I can't skate. I'm in Canada and I can't skate. I can't ski. I can't swim. Uh, I used to see weird things when I was a kid. I used to see like flying lizards in my room that scared the living daylights out of me. I used to hear T-Rex walking up my stairs thinking they're going to eat me. I once saw a big yellow bug in my bed and I woke up crying and my dad was like, is it a vampire? And I was like, I cried even more because I don't know what a vampire meant. And then I was scared of that. And I was like, oh my God. Actually, I wasn't even scared. I was like, what is vampire? I don't understand. Weird stuff. I claim, here's a go to weird direction. I don't know if I want to share that. That's not really a weakness. That's just like some personal stuff. I'll stay away from that. What other weaknesses are there? Ooh, there's a lot of weaknesses. What else is there, guys? Hey, I know who that is on Instagram. Who's watching? You are on. I know exactly who you are. Anyway, wow, Azren speechless. That's interesting. I'm speechless. Have I run out? Is that all my weaknesses? Let's share some other ones. I want to share a couple more. Like I feel like there's some that I'm like hiding in my brain. I'm literally like, keeping in my brain. I can feel holding some back, and I don't even know what they are. Like there's some around here. We'll start with this. I judge. Judge not even the right word. Here's a weird one. This is something. This is not a weakness. This is something that people don't understand. I have opinions of people, and yet it doesn't affect my ability to be friends with you or like you. So I could think you suck at, like I could look you in the face and be like, you suck at this. You suck at blank. And I don't care. Like it's like, it sounds like I'm judging you. Actually, yeah, here's that. I'm not good at communicating this. I often say things like, yeah, well, you do suck at that. Or like I'll be like, well, yeah, like I can't think of a good example, but I might say something that is negative, that is not a positive attribute about you or a positive thing, right? It's not a positive thing, and yet I don't judge you for it. So I just say it because I don't judge you for it. I don't care. I legitimately don't care. Right? So like that's something that's interesting. Like it really, I say that goes into my bluntness. Like I once asked somebody if they're a lesbian because I just thought they're lesbian. And like I didn't, and this is before. Right now, there's more talk about it, and even now, that's not an appropriate question. I was asking this back when it was, it was talk about lesbianism and gayism, all that stuff, right? But it wasn't as big. And yeah, I was like, hey, are you? I think it was, yeah, I was like, hey, are you lesbian? Are you gay? I was like, I should have asked many people if they're gay, but I still do it, right? And it's not a negative quality to be gay, but some people are scared of that. But it's just because I'm not gonna, I don't care. I'm not gonna judge you. I literally don't care, right? That I just ask it, and it leads to bluntness. It leads to that, yeah, because I don't care, and not caring is a good thing, and it's also a bad thing. It's like, yeah, it's a bit of both. I don't appreciate. I don't appreciate my own mother enough. That's a big one. I don't do that. I don't do that enough. Yeah, don't appreciate my own mother enough. Due to the high logic nature of my mom, I don't share touchy-feely things with family. I am not very close with most of my family, period. Yeah, not overly close. I mean, we're family and everything, but not like, yeah, we're not buddies. I could literally do this for hours. I feel like I want this to be a, like, oh, here's one. I pushed off a meeting for 16 minutes for selfish reasons of wanting to create this piece of content. That's something bad that I shouldn't be doing. Someone's waiting on me right now, and yet I keep talking out of selfishness. I think I have, when you look at by nature, I don't know if by nature is the right word, but a lot of people, when they're kids, they have very giving hearts. That's just how they are. When I was a kid, it wasn't in me to the same extent that I remember based on my memory. I'd have to ask people that knew me when I was a kid, but based on my memory, I'm extremely naive, extremely naive. I don't often read between the lines. What else was there? Oh yeah, selfishness, right? So now I have like two fighting sides. We talked about earlier, like I have those fighting sides of selfishness and selflessness. Um, I figured it out where I can make my selfishness have positive impacts for other people when I share content. Do that, but this is very selfish because I know people are listening, and I get it feeds my narcissistic tendencies. And I'm not narcissistic at all, but I'm not at all. But it feeds my like desire for wanting to talk and have people listen. Here's one, and here's another one. In an ideal world, I don't want to actually listen to you. That's not true, actually. No, here's what's more true. Here's what's more true, actually. Here, this is closer. This is actually true. What I said is not true. This is true. I don't work well in teams. I don't work well when I'm on the same level as people. I work well when you work for me. And the reason is, when we work at this, I want to be the one making the decisions. And yet, here's where we get into weird territory. When you work for me, I now believe that I work for you. When I need to, like if I'm at an event, this is not even in a work situation, but when I'm hosting an event, I want to hear all of your feedback. And that's the one time I'm going to really listen to your feedback and do what I can to listen to your feedback. And here's why. Because I want you to like me. Again, it's all from selfishness. I want you to like me, and I want you to like what's going on. So I go, okay, I'm going to listen, right? But when it comes to feedback on my own content, stuff like that, I'm initially closed and I open up later. So yeah, I don't work well in teams. I don't, any team thing I've been in, I've never been overly popular. No one, I don't think people they didn't dislike me. I don't think people disliked me, but I definitely wasn't an integral part of the team or a driver of culture or anything like that. What else? It's gonna be weird on the podcast. Podcast's gonna be odd. It's gonna be like weird silences because I'm like, what's Azren doing? Because I can't see my visual, but all right. I got to end my selfishness of just wanting to keep this going because someone has now been waiting for me for 20 minutes. So that's not acceptable. Oh man, I want to keep, fuck. There's one. That's the first swear I've ever said in a video, I think. I swear. That's one. I swear. And I never swear on camera. Two reasons for it. Number one, I know, here's the weird territory. I don't swear on camera because I know sometimes kids are going to follow me and parents might not like that. But here's the thing. I actually don't care. I actually don't care that the parent doesn't like it, but I care because I know that it's going to ostracize a bunch of people. And so I want those eyeballs. So I filter myself. I filter the swearing out. I think people have noticed I say a lot of things like fricking, things like that. Please be mindful that often when I'm in that zone, I might be filtering a lot of swear words, which is why I start to use other things. I just get mad and I hit things because I don't swear a lot. People in my real world are like, I don't swear a lot either. I swear very minimally. But when I'm like competitive and stuff, like, yeah, I swear a lot when I'm making videos, but you don't catch it because it's like if I mess up, like I scream, I drop F-bombs left, right. It's really interesting. That's something. I don't know if it's a weakness or not, but okay, this is it. We're done. I got to end it because someone's waiting for me. So guys, I got to go. Thanks for watching. Let's end Instagram ends first. Yeah, I can't keep them waiting this long. Let's share that. There we go. Yeah, I can't keep you waiting this long. So thanks for wow, a lot of people watched. Thanks for the live viewers. That really tired me out for some reason. I think I might do this again. I want to like fight this. I want to be like single-handedly like I don't punch people, but like I just want to like, I don't know. Bye, guys. See ya.